Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas indeed. Welcome to a special flight. We're really in a mode where we're just kind of flying when we have some time. So I thought I'd take it up today, get this short flight in, and hey, we're going to actually get to see this new scenery from Simbas. Now, right now, we're sitting in Charleston, Air Force Base International, however you want to say it. And currently, Zibo is taking on catering, fuel, baggage as we prepare to move soldiers, airmen, seamen. I mean, this is a joint base, folks. Joint base meaning multiple entities for the military uh, are classified here. So we're moving them all from here to Atlanta, where they can then disperse out to their hometowns. So kind of happens. They just did it here in St. Louis, I think Friday. Um, and well, we're going to do it out of Charleston, head them into Atlanta, and then from there they can spread out to wherever they live, being one of the busiest airports in the world. All right, so we have an airline many of you all may never have heard of, Miami Air. I've actually seen it several times when I worked at the airport out there, and it's a cool airline. I really liked it, really liked the crews that came through. Just a really nice airline. Unfortunately, 2008 seemed to claim a lot of these charter airlines the military used. And I haven't seen them since, and I think they have. I think I've read somewhere where they may have gone under, but I'm not certain. Also, don't understand how those guys make it, but they do. But anyway, my name is Flying with Mike. Well, Mike. And I'd like to welcome you aboard. I've been in the flight simming for about 25, 26 years. Flight simming from all the way back in FS 98, I think it was, but it might have been 2000, all the way up to FSX. Then everyone had that long break, unless you jumped to prepared, which I did not. Just way too many people reporting way too many bugs. And I was actually at that point content with FSX. Um, my chance to go to X plane wasn't all that great back in 2006, 7, 8 time frame. A lot happened in the flight sim world, both in the Microsoft world and overall. And I just didn't like X-Plane back then. Fast forward to 2020, 13 years since we'd seen a new sim, 13, 14 years. Microsoft was poised to release a sim and was kept being hounded to go try X-Plane now. So I did with a new computer. Had it installed on there. He tweaked it. The whole, I mean, it was night and day from 20, 10, 15 years earlier, and haven't left and don't plan to leave. So you're looking at exclusive X-Plane simming. I do not dabble with the others. I actually don't even really dabble with any other games than X-Plane 11 or 12. Little quick synopsis there, folks. So with that, let's crawl up in the cockpit here and before our guests arrive and get this plane ready to go. All right, now we're flying for Sim Air Force. Bear with me 1 second. I want to make sure everything's firing on the proper cylinders. They are. With that virtual special operations group. Now, why are they called that? They are VATSIM, meaning you have to fly on VATSIM. If you don't like VATSIM, well, then don't join the VSOs because they are required to fly on VATSIM. No other reason why. I mean, if you're gonna fly military, you got to have other people to do what you do in the military. So, but I fly a lot of CRAF, which is the Civil Reserve Air Fleet, which is what Miami Air flew under, as well as cargo. Also, VIPs. So you'll find me in C-130s. Um, not as much as I used to. Uh, C-40, which is nothing more than a BBJ, and a BBJ is nothing more than a 737-700. And the CRAF Airlines, which would allow for the MD-11s, the 747s, and so forth. So we fly, like I said, exclusively on X-Plane. We're not here to debate good, bad, or ugly. I mean, you all fly what you're comfortable with, and that's where my argument will end. Don't get into the digital combat world. It's just not for me anymore. So, y'all enjoy it. That is great. I'm glad to see you up and simming. Hey, that is awesome. For me, it's a great outlet from the real world, and whatever you enjoy it. So, all right. So, with all of that said, let's jump in here and bring in Sim Toolkit. That's what we use to pre-flight. Now, we are on VATSIM as we speak. Look for us under Bravo Sierra Kilo 1818. I know, real original. All right, so here's Charleston, here's Atlanta, and here's the way to there. Our loadout is 112 military personnel, 22,400 pounds, and we're going to block with 13,063 pounds of fuel. There's the route Stunno to Ald to EEWOK to Sith 2. The EEWOKs. We get to play with the teddy bears today. Cool. If you're not a Star Wars fan, this arrival will be a little, if you are, you'll go, oh my gosh, yeah, there's a lot of them like this out there under different themes. This one is a Star Wars themed one. So you'll pick up on it. Cost index today 35, and we're going to fly at 36,000. And yes, I believe I'm nursing a cold. Hopefully that's all it is. With a 3-year-old granddaughter and two 8-month-old granddaughters, I hope that's all it is. So, all right. So winds here out of the northeast at 10. So we're going to be planning runway 33 for departure. We'll check D-ATIS, which, oh, that's right. It doesn't come up here on this screen. Broken layer at 4,500 and 2 degrees here in Charleston. Little chilly for the southeast. Out in Atlanta, 080 at 9. Probably E-stops. We'll see when we get out there. We may get to make the call. Who knows? 10 miles visibility. And clear sky, 1 degree. You know, some of the coldest mornings that I drove in the truck were into Georgia. You get into those valleys, because it's a pretty, I mean, you got the Smokies to the north, and it's pretty bumpy all the way down. Ooh, it got chilly. It was, you expect to go to the south as a trucker to warm up. So, not all the time. Not till the sun's way up. So, but it looks like a beautiful flight, folks. All right, we're already, like I said, on and ready to go. So let's take a look at where we stand here before our guests arrive. And it looks like we're ready to fire up the APU. How about that? And we're aligned. Cool. Let's get down here, pop on that fuel pump, and give it a few seconds, and then, not that way. I hate when I do that. Okay. Actually, I think I know why. Let's do that. Okay. A little higher up on the screen might help. All right. So we're waiting to just make sure the APU, there's our check for oil levels. Everything looks good. And we should see it start to fire up here in a second. By the way, we're flying. Oh, you're not seeing this. We are flying a Zibo today. It is, for those of you that flew PMDG like I did for many years in FSX 2004, you're going to see a lot of similarities. Problem is, I think this one's better. Now, you may outdo us in some of the razzmatazz of CPDLC and all of that good stuff. Fine and dandy. I don't see many controllers using it anyway, so it's kind of a useless thing to me. Hang on a second. I'm just getting my chat room easier to see. There we go. In case my wife pings me, I've got that. All right. Okay. So, but where we part lines, this aircraft I think flies a lot better. And by the way, it's free. All you got to do is have X-Plane 12, download the mod. It's free. So hope you enjoy. All right. So the APU's up and running. Bleed air on and switching over. All right. Let's get to work. All right, so anti-ices are all off. Everything looks good overhead. Head down here into the middle. Oh, we'd hit the right keys. Whoa, that sun. The only thing, when they came out with that, and it was a thing in prepared with that sun, how it beats in. Oh, man, is it really sometimes makes it hard, as you can see. Okay, let's get down here and do the honors with the McDo. Okay, we're going to request the flight plan. Takes a few. I actually don't even know in the real world how long it would take. Okay, cruise winds are in. All right. Let's take a look real quick. Ald EEWOK Tizzy. Okay, now let's go to here. Now we said runway 33. Correct? Yes. Okay. I am going to verify that real quick using DATIS. Now, you have that ability too, folks. Just go to that site. If it's one of those under the, find your station, great. If not, we do the best we can with the winds. All right, departures. ILS 33 or 3. Okay, so I could take off on 3. Okay, so let me take a look at that. I am really thinking runway 3. Although it's really not that far over. You know what? One last check if I do this. Good. works for it. All right. Yeah, we're going to go to runway 3. So let's do departure, runway 3, stunno, ALD, execute. Route. Okay, so now we're taking off runway 3. Let's look at our arrival, shall we? Current arrival information's bringing us in 8s and 9s. So yeah, it was kind of, I kind of expected it. We'll be on 9 right. Let me look at that real quick. Yeah, 9 right. Let me get us an approach. You know, oh, okay, I see. I do need to make a change. And EEWOK, good. And now the okay. All right, so we'll just do the ILS, keep it simple. Really thought about the RNAV, but it's just as easy to do it this way. All right. So let's select arrive, ILS 9 right, Sith, EEWOK, Diffins. Execute. Now let's make sure. The reason a lot of people ask me why. Well, here's where we've come into troubles. First off, put that there, put that there. All right. Bear with me. I'm trying to get that sun so it's not bearing down on us. Okay. I'll be verifying it on the chart. So we're coming off runway 3 to Bryce, to Gula, Stunno, out to Allendale. Okay, EEWOK. Oh, right out to EEWOK. Didn't we have an intermediate? Stand by. Oh no, we went direct. Okay, never mind. Just don't mind that weird guy behind the console. Okay. So ALD to EEWOK. Okay, let me pull up Sith 2. EEWOK. There you are. To Leyu, Sith, Tizzy, Fries. Shirt, Remac, Dactyl, Stump. All right, and then we are going to turn in to Diffins, G-Guy. The reason I'm doing this is to make sure we didn't lose. Sometimes in this process, you lose from the transition to like EEWOK. Say there were 10 fixes. Well, you'd be going direct and the controller would be going, why are you going that way? Maybe not that nicely. All right, and that looks good. Guy, easy. Bernie, right on into the runway. Missed approach, Connie. Is that where we're going, Connie? Yep. And there it is. All right, cool. We're ready. Oop, not fix. Legs, route. All right, so bear with me as we reset. Okay. And by the way, that initial turn is pretty quick. That might be worthy of doing it that tight. All right. So that was pretty easy. Now, the little bit more difficult. Now, if you just go to SimBrief, folks, you can do the second half of the setting this up. Go to Perf Int. Now, to set this up, you can hit Request. All this is going to do is populate the screen. That's it. It's not going to take you the next steps in. Give it a second. There's the load. There is no, I believe there's no activate, and that's it. Now, you do have to put your reserves in. I fly with enough fuel to make my alternate, which in this case is Huntsville, and 45 minutes of fuel. In this case, 3,100 pounds. So 3.1 plus 3.9, 6 point. Oh, nope, that'll be 7. My bad. Okay. Now it may recalculate. Okay. And everything else looks good. Just doing a quick 117.4 for the zero fuel weight. 13, that'll work. I'd rather it be a little lower than a little higher. Okay, now we get to that territory where you're going to need to use, if you set your flight up with SimBrief, it's a free website provider, very free. All you got to do is register, folks. That's it. You can get your flight set up, usually right off what the real guys fly. And you can set up now your performance information. So we'll go to takeoff performance in the upper right corner. Check everything. Well, we switched it to 3. And we are go for calculate. Okay, so what happens is it populates what your runway is and your current weather, what you're inputting, your weights, your thrust values. Are your bleeds going to be bleeds / packs on or off, and so forth. In this case, it's spitting out that we need to fly off this runway takeoff to 48 for a select temperature, and let it populate now. It'll tell you what it suggests. Climb to. I think I'll go with that. Takeoff. Click CG. I go to the next page. Runway winds is right there for you. 020 at 20. Correction, 020 at 12. Slope, get that from SimBrief or the charts. Up 0.1. U 0.1. Diagonal. Runway heading 031. Again, from the charts. All right, now, runway dry, wet, or contaminated. Contaminated meaning wet or snow and ice. Or worse, ash. You know, there's a whole list of contaminants that could be there. And they all affect your braking and your takeoff. We know we have a dry runway. So, go to next, back to the same page. We're taking off flaps 5. Boom. 132, 140. Hey, that's not bad. I'm just going to use, and I'll explain a couple of these real quick. Okay, V1, you all know that's safety. We reach that speed. If we lose an engine, we commit the flight. If it's before V1, we should have enough runway to reject the takeoff. Remember what I just said. If you lose an engine, rotate is where you rotate for takeoff. V2 is a safety speed. That is enough speed to fly on one engine to clear a 50-foot object and continue your climb. Very important if you have to commit to flight because you lost an engine. So that's what V2 comes down to. Got a 7,000 foot runway. There it is for you elsewhere in the world that play in meters. I'm going to turn the QRH off and head over here, down here. Plug these numbers in. 148, if I can read them. Hard. 148. Let's call 158 V2 plus 10. 31. And right now I do not believe we have ATC. Let me double check. That is correct. So we'll go right on up to 36,000 feet. Okay, backtracking, flight directors coming on. Set for 400. Oh, that's Barrow. What is Barrow here? Hang on a second. Airport sits 46, so we'll go 446. Really didn't need to, but since I was already halfway there, I figured why not? And our altimeter is 3051. Now, if you don't have an altimeter setting, another way to set your altimeter to the airfield elevation, in this case 46 feet. You'll be really close, believe it or not. So just a little thing from that little world of little airplanes that I learned. Oh, sorry, folks. Oh. All right, got everything ready for takeoff. We're going to go ahead and start letting our guests aboard. And you'll see it show up on the screen here in a minute as passengers boarding. What was there before was a little hint. You got to turn the chime or the no smoking off. Once we have them all aboard, we'll be ready to go, folks. Hope you are. Get a cup of coffee. Get ready. We got a nice little hop up to Atlanta. All right, welcome back from the break. We're just waiting on the peeps to get aboard. And we'll be ready to roll. The buses show up and they'll back out when things are at 100%. Now, you will hear the flight attendant say everybody's on board, usually at about 30%. So we still got a little ways to go. We're ready to go in the cockpit here. Everything's in place. Let's go ahead for now, get the seatbelt sign on. While we're not going to have probably time for it. So, all right, we're just waiting on them. All right, so I hope y'all have a Merry Christmas and a very wonderful New Year. This week's flight schedule is strictly going to be on an as we're able to kind of deal. There is no rhyme or reason. Like today, we may fire up at 8 in the morning. We may fire up 8 at night. Who knows? But we're going to try to get a couple of flights in. Not our normal hefty schedule. And I know some of you, could have maybe better Christmases than others, but it's what we make of them. It's not what other people do. It's what we do. It's how we look at Christmas. Don't look at it from the glasses empty versus half full or full. Look at it as you control the joy in your life. Nobody else does. So keep that in mind this Christmas. Um, all right, we should be getting really close. Right, we're at 72%. So, but I really, really do wish, whatever kind of Christmas you have a Merry Christmas. Okay. Now, because we are hauling our guests of the military, that's why we're parked over here instead of over at the terminal. In real life, I have no idea how Charleston would handle this. Um, I can only speak from how I see things from the airport I was at, and it was kind of a flip a coin. If they had the room, yeah, they'd bring the plane over there and take care of the military over there. But they also knew the um, ease at which they could do it on the commercial side. Pull them into a jetway, walk them in. They don't have to load the ramp crews, load up the aircraft, albeit with the help of military personnel. So um, it is a little easier, but that's how it is. All right, look what I see.
Ladies and gentlemen, the boarding door is now closed. Flight attendants prepare doors for departure. Cross check, fair price staff, stand by for all calls.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything. gentlemen, front flight deck, we'd like to add our welcome board. Anticipate possibly some light bumps or some choppy air as we climb out. As a precaution, keep our flight attendants seated for a few minutes. Make sure we know, what that ride's going to be like before they get up. Also appreciate it if everyone would remain in our seats during that time.
And we are.
Thanks for being with us today.
We need large electronic devices, laptop computers, to be turned off and stowed. Smaller electronic handheld devices.
All right, let's crank this thing up, shall we? Just make sure you always turn your packs off, folks. You gotta have that air pressure unless you're gonna use outside air sources to get your pressure you need to start these engines. Okay, everything looks set, ready to go. Here we go. Let's crank up number 1. Okay, let's get number 2 turning. Okay, number 2 is lit off. We're just about ready, folks. Just waiting for it to stabilize, then we'll get the rest done and ready to go. Okay, it looks stable to me. Let's head up here. Generators first. Okay. Fuel, hydraulic pumps. We'll go to 2 today. Probe heat. Yaw damper. Packs back. APU off. All right, let's come down to here. Flaps to 5. Double check that. Yeah, it was 5. Okay. The shortened runway, I was like, oh, I better check. Okay. Taxi engine starts. Okay, let's go to RTO while we're here. continuous, and everything looks ready to go to me. Let's do it. 5, nav. Okay, we're on the move. Let's do it. Taxi lights on. Charleston traffic, Biscayne 1818, taxi to runway 3. Ugh. All right, let's finish this up. It's a neat airport. I lived there as a kid in the 70s. Granted, we didn't have the C-17s they have today. We had the C-141s back then. And it was a cool airbase. Really loved it. You talk to anyone. If you ask me where I want to live, Charleston, South Carolina. Beautiful city. Lots of history. Unbelievable. All right. Finish this up here. Heading bug set to 31. Okay, I think we're ready for departure. And Charleston traffic, Biscayne 1818, departing runway 3. Okay, auto throttle on. Okay.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
And for those unfamiliar with this airport, a lot of you like flying the 787. It's built here. Final assembly, let's put it that way. The throttle's on. Toga.
knots.
B1.
B1, rotate. Positive rate.
Gear coming up. Autopilot, take it now.
$1,000.
All right, we're climbing out, folks. Headed to Bryce, then on course. Now, we are in XP12.1.3. This long line of updates that have occurred since X-Plane came out. I'm going to say better part of 2 years now. I could be wrong. And anyway, the changes that have occurred has been unbelievable. And we're a lot of people are really interested in the next big update, be it 1.4, be it later on when they update the way the weather um, uh, shows up on our nav displays, or whatever they call them in G1000s. I'm just not familiar with that. I flew as a private pilot, yes, but I flew the basic six-pack. All of this fancy schmancy stuff in these planes today. Whew. Yeah. So, um, but I never got to work with radar or any. We're not supposed to be in clouds as a private pilot. So you're not going to be looking at thunderstorms with radars. Maybe a storm scope. I did have one plane in our fleet that did have a storm scope. I never turned it on. So I don't even really know how that looked. We did have some great weather in Dayton, Ohio when I lived back then. But, oh, yeah, I don't go into clouds. So, we land. But anyway, we're on our way to Atlanta. But anyway, that update is coming. And basically, I mean, it's doing things I didn't know the guys in the aircraft could actually do. I thought that was TV, Hollywoodish, graphical stuff they did with their super crate computers and their, packed in their desk. Um, so I'm really looking forward to that learning curve coming. There's been a little bit of a learning curve going from FSX to X-Plane 11, then 12, but this one coming, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, basically what we're saying, folks, is everything, uh, these right here will all, the way they were meant to function in a real airplane will function in all of the aircraft. First, the default aircraft, because that's what it will do. But then as the developers get a hold of that information, they can make it available in their creations. Zibo, this aircraft, I believe he's already on board and pretty much up to date, ready to go with it. But, of course, we never know until it actually releases. So, but yeah, it's getting close. And X-Plane users, while I'm going to stick with Zibo, I actually never flew the level up 737s. I know a lot of people have asked me, what have I heard? I've heard nothing more than what you all have. And yesterday or the day before, word came, be patient, in a couple of days, Level Up is going to release. And what Level Up is this, in essence, it's a lot like this 737, except where PMDG can excel over the 737 is in the fact you can get the 800, 900, 600, 700. That's how it used to be in the FSX days. Now I think you buy each one. Anyway, I don't know. Don't want to spread a nasty rumor, so we'll leave it at that. However, Level Up brings you the 900, the 700, the 600 on top of the 800. So I know a lot of people. I am so content with the 800. I don't need those other versions, but I get there are some that just say the 700's the best. I guess that's analogous to the Airbus guy saying the A319's better than the 320. Okay, they're the same plane, just one smaller than the other. So, I don't know. I don't get into the nitpickiness that way. I just enjoy flying the NG. So, anyway, that is due out here real soon. So be paying attention. Check, go over to the X-Plane Discord news feed, I think is where I saw it, and get the details for yourself. And when any new releases come out, new updates. I always try to check that before I go online to go, can I get online before, with all the time sometimes it takes. All right, we're airborne, folks. We're 30 minutes out. And this is going to be it for today, most likely. Maybe later, we'll see, but got a lot going on. We're kind of squeezing this thing in and should be able to make it. Like I said, 30 minutes to go and we're still climbing, so. So I hope you all have a Merry Christmas, and we're just going to continue on climbing. Let's get these off. Usually they'd have been off by now. In such a short flight, let's go ahead. Oh, I just had it set to auto, dang it. Okay, no biggie. So, enjoy. Hope y'all have a great Christmas, and we're going to continue on to Atlanta. So, tag along, fly along, enjoy the ride, folks. It is the most wonderful time of the year.
But if I mess up this Christmas, will you stick around for New Year's? Let's make a new resolution. Have a holiday without tears. I can make it.
7 different ways of fighting up the storm we've been sleeping on. Yeah, digging up the ground, trying to find what's wrong. Plant the seed, burn it down, make it freeze. Drown it, then we shock it till we bring it to its knees. Heaven blowing on my dice for a prize. Feel the breeze, hear it born like a night. Running, climbing, swimming, gliding. Maybe I'm alright. I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away tonight.
Wonder what kicked the autopilot off. All right, let's take a look at the Sith 2.
Thousand to go.
I'd rather be dreaming, floating while sleeping to islands in the sky. I need you to fly me away. Please fly me away. Won't you just fly me away tonight?
Okay, we got about 50 miles, so we'll set 12,000.
I don't even realize it's that time each year. Looking out the window, thinking I'm still here. A subtle act of kindness, a jingle in my ear. Catch a little Christmas, but friendly. Let's
Okay, descent checks.
be Christmas sweaters and just stay indoors. Skip the chilly weather and make fireplace fires. Sleeping on
All right,
the couch
we have a different version here, folks. If you've noticed, normally you have climb, cruise, descent. Well, we have that VNAV button. If y'all remember, just click VNAV, next page, or next, whatever it takes to get to the Econ Path descent. Go to forecast first. You're anywhere but North America. For the most part, all of North America is 18,000 feet on the transition. Elsewhere in the world, that can be different, especially in Europe. It could be different just country to country, let alone it could also differ city to city. So you always want to know what you're doing. Okay. Next, request your wins. If SimBrief has wins for you, they'll populate and you'll have it. Okay. No win data, so we don't have any. It is what it is, you know, we're using SimBrief, so hopefully they'll help us out. Sometimes they don't. Click VNAV, next page. All right, so for descending, couple of ways to do it in the 737 NGs. Okay, set your altitude. Use the, you can either go altitude, INTV, which is actually intervene. Sorry about that, folks. Or you could click descend now. And, was that Atlanta Center coming up? No. I hate auto ATC. Makes you think, do I have ATC? And I don't. And that was really, yeah, I really hate it. I wish they'd get rid of it. All right. So what we were saying, set your altitude. Now, if you want to wait, you can wait to top a descent. It'll start descending on its own at that point. If ATC jumps in and says descend 12,000 by Tizzy, or descend flight level 240, set 240, either altitude intervene or descend now. I'm going to wait till about 10 miles, and then I'm just going to start descending. And then we'll be ready to go. And by the way, this is the only non-copywritten Christmas music I could find out there. Is what it is. All right, I'm going to go ahead, kill the music right now. We're getting ready to descend. Hang on a second. All right. Let's start this descent. Let's go altitude intervene. There's how you know you're in a descent. You got the bars, and that diamond in there is going to tell you where you are on the descent, above or below what the system plans to get you there. Also, over on the primary, you can see what looks like a glide slope. It's not the actual glide slope indicator, but it kind of works the same as the one on the nav display. All right, and we're going to go ahead and...
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are descending. Seatbelt sign is on. If you happen to be up and about, please return your seat. Keep your seatbelt fastened for the remainder of the flight. On behalf of the flight crew, we appreciate you being with us today. Wish you a very safe and pleasant journey to your final destination. Hope to see you back here with us soon. Thank you.
All right, we are, like he said, descending. And we got about 12 to 15 minutes till we'll be on the ground. So I hope you've enjoyed. Like I said, this is a short hop to Atlanta, mainly so we can see the scenery when we get on the ground. Nimbus updated this last week or the week before. I've been there once and really didn't see anything, but we're gonna see how it interacts with the aircraft when we get there. So hope that'll be, I mean, it's a beautiful scenery. Nimbus does a really good job. So hopefully we're, couple of friends that I know have tried, and the board still isn't changing when you put it up there. But again, I don't know how all of that's really supposed to work. All right, so we are now in our descent. We're pretty close to what the avionics systems predict our descent rate should be to match to get to 12,000 per what's inputted as the arrival. Okay, so we just have to be by SIF above 14,000, tizzy at 12,000. So currently I think we have no problem making it, and then we slowly descend down from there to about 5,000 feet, and then we'll turn over for diffins and in for the ILS. All right, speaking of ILS, let's get the radios set up. Okay, first thing we want to do is make it read ILS. We need 1089. 1089. Click. Click. Hartsfield. What is Hartsfield? VOR. Hang on. It's not showing easily. Yeah, 116.9. Okay. Ah, 1089. There we go. Okay, then we need to set up here. First off, close. We'll get that in a second. 095. Okay. All right, so we got the ILS set up. Now let's get over here and get our performance. Coming in flaps 30, runway 9 right. Current wind at Hotlanta. Zero 90 diagonal 10 enter. It is 3 degrees. 3048. 1032. Okay, 30 auto AI's off, brakes 3, and landing weight estimating in at 124.9. Okay, so we're looking at, with brakes 3, 1600, about a little under halfway, or a little over halfway down the runway. Cool. And then we'll just shoot over. All right, look at the frame rates, doing pretty good. Cool. And so we're set up. I'm just going to calculate. Okay, approach at 145. Okay. All right, we're ready for it, folks. Hope you are. Hope you're ready for Christmas. Last minute shoppers. Hey, it's last minute. You got today and tomorrow. Much better person than me. I could not deal with that many people. Taco Dude, Sim Air Force. Yes, sir. En route. It's one of the virtual special op groups. Allows us to fly military missions, air refueling, formation flying, escorts, and other tactical things. Plus, we get to enjoy transporting troops around. Welcome in. Merry Christmas to you. 3048. Okay. Seatbelts are on. We're set and ready for the final half of this descent. Basically what virtual special op groups are, like I said, we are like a virtual airline in some respects. However, we're flying military aircraft, albeit F-16s, 15s, F-4s, some of the guys at Sim Air Force fly, C-130, C-17s. Now, on VATSIM, you're only allowed to fly formation, air refuel, and operations in military areas under these virtual special ops, VATSIM special op groups on VATSIM. You can do it to your heart's content offline, but if you're going to do these things online in military areas, you have to be part of a special ops group. And that has to be, as you saw, delineated in the remarks section. I also, as a C-130, will go in late drop, airdrop, and if I'm flying the AC, can shoot. So, also the fighter guys can dogfight. There's no restrictions on them other than that put on by their organization. But yeah, it's a great group, the Sim Air Force and the others that are out there. We're not just the only one. There are several out there. Couple in Europe, one in Australia for sure I know of. Couple here in the States. If you're looking to fly a lot more military-like, they're where you would want to look on VATSIM. Then you have digital combat, which is again not part of the VSOAs. They, however, do operate over there, but that sim is not on there. So, and then you could actually blow someone out of the sky. I mean, as we all know, what digital combat can do. All right, let's get our next descent layer in to, we'll go ahead and come on down to 5,000. Let's keep it 7. Let's keep it civil. All right, you're not descending, so let's kind of emphasize we want to go down. Let's go ahead and set 250. It's slowing. And stump by 5,000. Oh. Are you kidding me? How did that not change? Sorry for the confusion there, folks, with the timer out there. I must not have hit save. All right. Looking perfect. All right, let's get set up for this arrival again. As you saw the message go out, it's a good time to set up a prediction if you're inclined to that. Exclamation mark the word predict, then a space and a negative number. Make sure that's a negative number. Otherwise, you may or may not be able, if it lands on it, may not get that credit. All right, starting in. Okay, we are gonna cut this off a little bit to get in there to make sure we make it on time. There's the airport behind us. Just a beautiful day out here in Atlanta, otherwise known as Hot Atlanta. Always hot. Even at 1 degree, it can be hot. No. Yeah, I used to deliver some steel out here, out in the outreaches of Atlanta, Cartersville, and can't think of the other town, rail car company. And oh my gosh, was it cold for 35, 40 degrees. Boy, that was cold in those valleys. Oh, all right, here we go. Let's make that turn. K95. Push that up. Slowing us down. Hey, landing gear going down. Okay, let's get ready to land this thing. Welcome back, those of you from the break. We're turning final for the runway, and hope you all are ready. Don't have it in sight yet. Although I'm assuming that's the airport right up in the above the wiper there. Okay, glide path achieved, and there's the airport. All right, now we just got to figure out, make sure we're lined up on the runway. How's this configuration look? So there's a taxiway south of it, okay. Oh boy. Screw it. All right, Atlanta, Hartsfield traffic, Biscayne 1818, 3-mile final for 9 right.
1,000.
It's going to try to get that CTAF put in quicker, but I couldn't.
500. Approaching minimums. 400 minimum.
Landing.
300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. knots.
Atlanta traffic, Biscayne 1818 off November 10 to the ramp. All right, let's find out where do we want to park. Let's see. All right, hope you enjoyed that, folks. I haven't even looked to see how we ended up. Hang on a second here. Getting a parking chart. I think we'll go in Fox 3. Not sure where we are right now. Ah, I'm looking at the wrong end. Oh, I'm looking off the 8s. We needed to go in at Lima 6, so we'll go in here and plan to park pretty quick. Let's go for this next gate. Delta 6, it looks like. That'll work. Whoa. All right, we are here, folks, and let's do a quick look here. Oh, I thought I turned those off. Hang on. I guess I didn't. All right, so yeah, we're all set now. We shouldn't be blinky blinky out there. All right, and looks like Zibo's at it. Good deal. And we're in the gate. Now, some of the neat things that I remember from before, now we're in a different gate, so it's kind of tough to show. I mean, yeah, the people just turn around in circles. I mean, let's be honest, that's some pretty good realism here. I mean, I've not been in Atlanta, so, but like I said, they just go around in circles. But overall, I mean, it's a good scenery. Let's do this, and so, I mean, if you're looking at it, I think it's pretty good. That actually was better than before the auto gate. Now, the one thing we're looking to try, let's do it this way. We should be able to change that to show our destination out here. Well, I don't have one, so we don't have that ability. But overall, I think looking at what I've taxied with, I mean, that is Atlanta, and it's decently set up, excuse me. So you can definitely pack heavy and the little guys through here. So overall, now the one thing we're having troubles with was the number boards being able to be changed and the colors. You're supposed to be able to change colors. Now, granted, we're daytime, so we'll need to try this at night. But nice job there, American 417. So I think we've got a good scenery here. We'll give it a better shakedown at another date, but I wanted to show it off. The only other detractor that I've seen is those of us that own the version prior to this. We still got to pay for it, and that kind of rubs some people wrong. I am of the belief that if you took the time to work on it, I'm okay with that. But I know a lot of people out there that are rubbed wrong when you make them pay again. So just letting that be known forehand. All right, real quick, let's get in here, take a look at this flight. Okay, Pyrup's on its way to Sim Air Force. Real quick, looking over this, because I do have to skedaddle. I can't believe I just did that. Hang on. Go here. Thank you. Weirdo. All right. Oh, we don't have a landing rate. Why not? Oh, I know why. Okay, well, we didn't get a landing rate on that one. No big deal. Hang on, let me do something real quick here because we got to get out of here. Sim brief, or Sim toolkit, sorry. You can see the rate there, 460. Oh my goodness, these are grease landings, and they're oh well, what can you do? 461 at 122 knots. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, that felt like a really good landing. But it is what it is. And actually, right where we wanted it, 1,400 feet down the runway, 4 feet off the center line. Folks, that's a beautiful landing. I swore that felt more like Greece, but I guess that's how it goes. All right, folks. Well, if I don't have time later today to fly, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. And we will be back in the air shortly.
Here we come a-caroling among the leaves so green. Here we come a-wandering so fair to be seen. Love and joy come to you, and to you Glad Christmas too. And God bless you and send you a happy new year. And God send you a happy new year.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la.
'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Got a drip, put it on, turn a king from a pawn. Royal blood is running strong, sing it fa la la.
The party got me spitting while the Fahrenheit is slipping. Catch me hunting while you're whipping. Celebrate until it's gone. Rock.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh.
O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way.
Bells on bobtails ring,
Making spirits bright.
What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey.
Good King Wenceslas looked down on the feast of Stephen.
silent night, holy night. All is calm, all is bright. Round young Virgin Mother and Child, holy infant so tender.